might want. What do you think politicians want? Did you know that Teresa May, when she announced that Gary McKinnon wouldn't be deported, changed the nature of the law, changed the actual letter of the British law in a way that means that a week previously, 2 Asian men who got deported wouldn't have been able to be deported. So she waited until the Asian men had been deported and then changed the law to keep Gary McKinnon here. If Babarahmad had still been in this country on the day that Teresa May announced the law change that would keep Gary McKinnon here, she wouldn't have been able to deport him. So she deported Asian gentlemen, waited a week and changed the law to keep Gary McKinnon here. I don't know what you make of that, but it's important that you know it. Because there seems to be an awful lot of strong feeling on this issue. And, dare I say, not a lot of knowledge. Can you stick up for the importance of British law without sticking up for unpleasant, unsavoury, deeply obnoxious people who benefit from it? I believe that you can. A number of my callers this morning have clearly been of the view that you can't. You can't stick up for the primacy of British justice without somehow being perceived as sticking up for a scumbag who benefits from it, which is fine. I guess never the twain shall meet on that one. But when I say to you that the reason why it is a good thing to see Abu Qatada not being deported to a torture chamber is very simply because it means that can't happen to anybody here, regardless of who they are. We do not deport to torture chambers. We lock up without trial. That's pretty bad. But we don't deport to torture chambers. And if we do, then we do so in the knowledge that it's wrong. So it happens in these extraordinary and deeply unpleasant circumstances. One caller, Richard, suggesting that he thinks Abu Hamza will be tortured in America. I'd be amazed, given the attention that man has drawn, if he did. But if he was quieter on the radar, then it's perfectly possible that he might have been the victim of some of these tactics that belong in programmes like 24 and Homeland, but actually do happen on this planet and are done by our allies. But that doesn't mean you go further away from the righteous path, does it? Gary's in Wal. Susie's in Twickenham. Susie, you've got 30 seconds.
Good morning, James. This morning
you've used up a lot of them there, saying my name 3 times. Come on.
Very, very angry, James. James, you've just made an accusation on air of a conspiracy by the Home Office in the shape of Teresa May that you said she waited until various other gentlemen, as you called them, had been deported under the law as it stood, and you said that she waited until those people had gone before she changed the law, the letter of the law, so that Gary McKinnon could be deported.
I said 30 seconds, Susie. I've given you 50. I mean, at risk of sounding rude, I know what I said. And you remember it correctly. I mean, to allege a conspiracy, perhaps is to put words into my mouth, but to allege it was a coincidence, that would be even sillier, wouldn't it? A complete coincidence that 2 brown men get sent to America under a law that gets changed exactly a week later to allow a white man to stay? I don't know. Call it a conspiracy. Call it whatever you want, but you should have used your 30 seconds better. That concludes...